What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RC, Boxing 411. Well, now, that's interesting. Today I found out some interesting things after doing a little research. I don't understand why nobody never talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it real quick, and maybe we can better understand why we have this glove situation with Tyson Fury. Okay? I did a little bit of looking around on Google, and I Googled Tyson Fury's father, John Fury. Now, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know, maybe a lot of people don't know, but John Fury was a fighter back in the days. I knew of hearing about him being a fighter, but I didn't know what kind of, I didn't really dig deep into it. I really never, looked into what John Fury did as a fighter. He was a professional fighter. Now, John Fury was a bare knuckle fighter. He was a bare knuckle fighter, and it better explains why we have the situation with the glove situation. Everybody's seen Tyson's knuckles, and why he was prepping his knuckles and hands by the allegations of him putting his hand in gasoline or something. Maybe he's putting in fiery rocks or something like that. That's something that the Asians did, to harden their hands so that they could, they won't feel as much, and the punch, the skin will be much tougher. They can hit, with that fist harder. You know what I'm saying? Because once you trained your hand and prepared it for impact, so to speak, on hitting something hard, a hard substance like bone on bone, you're less likely to feel as much pain if you've trained. It's just like like the boxers train. They train to take punches like Muhammad Ali trained to take punches to the belly before he fought George Foreman. So when George Foreman hit him in the midsection, it didn't bother him as much, because back in those days, George Foreman was hitting bags and then disfiguring them. So he had a hell of a punch when he hit somebody to the body. He's tearing them up. So Tyson Fury prepared his hands for that second fight. He really did a lot of preparation for it. But it hints as why his knuckles is in the glove like that, because Dad must have gave him told him a thing or two. In the first fight, it's rumored that his knuckles was also in the palm of the glove, and but this time he perfected it in the second fight, and hence why they never showed anything in the background, like when they was doing the like the 24/7 thing they was doing, all access, okay, like the all access thing they doing on PBC now. Tyson Fury didn't allow cameras in his training camp to show what he was actually prepping to do and prepping for. And the reason why, now we know, because he was prepping to use them knuckles, okay, in the palm of the glove. He was prepping to do whatever he needed to do to win by any means necessary. And he was able to pull it off. And evidently, the world is okay with Tyson Fury doing what he did, and not using the Queensberry's rules, and hitting them bare knuckle on the palm of the glove. My only thing and take about that is, should Wilder do the same thing, I expect everything to be as is now. Not a word to be said. Not a word to be said. But here's a little information about John Fury. I didn't know John Fury, he can't come to the States. He's not allowed in the States because of his criminal background. Because what he did was he gouged out a man's eye. Okay, and he was sentenced to 11 years for gouging a man's eye out. Like and the man said it was like he's trying to dig to his brain with his finger. He gouged the man's eye out. That's a sick and vicious kind of a move there. You know what I'm saying? I guess winning by any means necessary runs in the family. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a sickening thing to do. He blinded the man, half blinded the man, and yeah, they sentenced his ass to 11 years. He only ended up serving 4 though, because he got out in 2015. When Tyson Fury became champion, and you know the rest of the story, how he got caught on PEDs, and then after that big celebratory celebration he had, it was short lived, and he ended up falling on the wagon and going into a deep depression mode and mental issues, whatever, and coke binge, whatever you want to call it. The man spiraled downhill. I believe because he was ashamed he got caught, and mad at himself, what I'm saying, because he used a performance-enhancing drug. Otherwise, they wouldn't have suspended him for 2 years, right? So, also, his dad, John Fury, he did fight for a title. His record is actually he fought 13 times. His record is 8-4-1. The one title fight he had, he lost, and that was against some guy named Yorkshire in 1989. But besides that, I guess that's after he lost or whatever. Who knows? He went on the bench, and because his fighting career was like between 1980s and 1990s, them 13 fights. But I'm assuming after that fight he lost. He couldn't deal with the loss, and I guess did something he shouldn't have did, and gouged the man's eye out. And because of that, he was sitting 11 years, sentenced 11 years, and 11 for 11 year sentence. And because of that criminal record background, he's not allowed in the States. It's not allowed. He can't get a visa. So that's why we don't see John Fury in the States. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that he went as far as gouging a man out, and blinding a man, half blinding a man. That's really fucked up. That's a fucked up thing to do to a person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't beat him straight up, so you got to take the man out, dig to the man's brain. And then he pleaded for it afterwards. He was, trying to be apologetic and saying he would, if he could give the guy his eye, he would, because he didn't want to go to jail, and he felt he was detrimental to Tyson Fury's career as a trainer. He trained Tyson Fury. He trained his other son as well. But they did not have any mercy on him because he didn't have any mercy on the man. He gouged his eyes out. But they had some type of mercy. They let him out in 4 years. I believe he should have served the whole 11. You took the man out. It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You can't get that eye back. Hand half blind. You messed that man's whole life up. So I don't think that that is something that it should have been lenient about. You know what I'm saying? Because if you were really remorseful, you wouldn't have did it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You take a man's eye out. You have to really be thinking to do something like that. You're trying to dig to the man's brain. The man screaming, "Stop! You hurting me!" And all this stuff. I mean, hey, I can't even imagine. It sounds painful to me. But this is why we see Tyson doing whatever he had to do to win the second fight. And I hope Deontay Wilder's taking notes. And I hope he does whatever he has to do to win the fight as well, since we're all going to be playing by the non-Queensberry rules. If anything goes, then anything goes. And I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about shit. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear about nobody cheating. None of that shit. Because if this fight is not a cheat, then what happens next is not a cheat. Like Deontay Wilder said, it's war. And I believe he's going to bring war. I truly believe that. I truly believe that in my soul, this man is definitely going to be victorious in the trilogy. Because now he has woken up a lion. See, when you want to attack a lion and you think that you get past him. You get past him, you know what I'm saying, in a convincing fashion because of the things you did. But understand that a lion don't lay down. And that's why he wanted the immediate rematch. And he learned quite a few things in that second fight. And I guarantee you, we're going to see a whole different Wilder come the trilogy. And that's why they want to pay Wilder step aside money, because they know Wilder's going to come way prepared the third time, this third fight. And really the fight should be 1-1, because we all know Wilder won the first fight. Despite what everybody say, that knockdown was way too long of a count. No. Somebody actually rolled the back of their head, they stopped the fight. Normal referees do that. But, hey, Jack Reese let it go. It is what it is. So, they believe they won that first fight, and now he won the second fight by any means necessary. And believe you and me, when we put our mind to something, it's going to be by any means necessary too. I just don't want to hear nobody crying if the outcome is very devastating. I don't want to hear nobody crying. I don't want to hear no remorse, no shit. None of that. I want to hear it. That's all I have to say about that situation. I didn't know about John Fury's background. And you can Google it. John Fury, Tyson Fury's father, and read all about it. I just want to give you a little snippet, just in case you didn't know how them bare knuckles came about. Now we know where the origin came from of the bare knuckles with Mr. Tyson Fury. Okay? Until next time, please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, or the thumbs down video if you didn't. If this video was enlightening to you, show me love, throw that thumbs up button on it. And also, subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate it. All donations is all good. You know what I'm saying? You can donate to Robert Courtney. Donate to robfunk2010@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? Through Zelle. I appreciate that too. Help the channel grow. Until next time, this is RC on the Boxing 411. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about what you just heard. I'll holler.